your stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
While others are blabbing,
Total dance.
let's fill you in with pure entertainment. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
If you talk, you die. You don't talk, you die. So talk and die, knowing fully well that you have said something and you will not be a mockery to your generation. Well, anyways, the conversation is right here, and this is where we talk politics and current affairs. Apologies for having to start behind schedule. A little bit of hiccup, came by with our guest who was supposed to be joining the conversation this morning, though. But we will indeed ensure that we still carried on, because this conversation is a very, very vital conversation. I should also let you in as family members that the National Broadcasting Commission indeed reached out to us, and of course, talking about the fact that heightened emotions, might indeed catapult conversations into a place that might cause chaos. So I'd like to join us to at least show some civility and responsibility as we indeed get into conversations. I mean, the question was really about whether or not we are truly one Nigeria. And of course, that was also found on the front page of Nigerian newspapers because a politician actually had said that day, if I recall. But then we were still being called out for talking about it, maybe because we flouted, the NBC protocols, and we deeply apologize. But then we will still talk the truth. We will keep talking the truth. We will do it in a constructive manner, in a way that will not breach the trust of engagement or the rules of engagement as set by the regulatory authority. All right, now I just had to put that out there. And now one thing that this also tells you as an eagle is the fact that if you say, well, for those of you who keep saying that nobody is listening, we're just talking, nobody knows what we are saying. Oh no, they listen. Oh, they listen, I tell you. I can tell you that assuredly. They listen. They have their aides, channeled on the station because they want to hear you. And that's why it's very vital that we conducted ourselves, in the most civil and responsible way, so that we do not act like the same people we are talking or speaking truth to. All right? We're saner than them. So we should show them, lead by example, follow by example, because that's what life is all about. Right? It's not just about coming out and saying, hey, just do this. Let's do what I say, but don't do what I do. Nah. We will indeed be at a front burner. We will be setting the pace, for the agenda, the points of conversation. Yes, we will be driving it. Right. Well, my name is Udwak Daniel. Let's get to have that conversation already. I mean... What we are going to be talking about this morning borders around and about the untapped treasure, turning resources into real wealth for Nigerians. Many a time I hear you, Eagles, come on here and you talk about the fact that we are too rich to be poor, too poor to be rich. Oh, that is true. And it's so sad that the conversation that borders around such lines has been on for time immemorial. I remember, and I will still recall it. I will still put it out there. The then, or retired general now, Yakubu Gowon at the time, was interviewed. And he said that we are too rich. It was an international interview. I think it was the BBC then. He said, we have so much money. We don't even know what to spend this money's on. I mean, what he said then is still very prevalent right now. We have too much money. We don't know what to spend it on. And that's fact. Because if we did know what to spend it on, we will indeed map out a plan, draw up a scale of preference, set our priorities right, and begin to develop the society and turn it into what we envy when we step outside the shores of Nigeria. Do we have the resources to do that? Yes, we do. In fact, the resources are more than the population. It's more than enough to take care of our population, even if we are 300 million people. So, we will be taking a case in point with Yobe State. We will take a case in point with Yobe State. Now, Yobe State is located in Nigeria's northeast, is often described as a big treasure chest. That being said, because it holds many valuable things underground and on its farms. Oh yes, Yobe State, the same Yobe. Yobe State. Damaturu, I believe. Now, let me paint a picture. Maybe you don't know where we're going yet. Imagine a school playground that has hidden box of gold coins. Just imagine that. And then it has shiny stones. And it has a garden full of tasty fruits. Now, if you can find a way to open that box and share the content, the whole school can build new classrooms. They can buy books. They can fix broken chairs. They can do a whole lot. Redefining, re-engineering, rebranding, remaking that school, turning it into an edifice of envy. That's exactly what a new book that has the insight or the title, An Insight on Export Potentials and Investment Opportunities in Yobe State, Vision 2030, the Indigenous Export Initiatives for Economic Advancement, that is written by Mohammed Al-Wali Kazir, is trying to do in Yobe State. Now, the author is actually the son of a former military governor of Kwara State. I mean, the military governor and former chief of army staff at the time, Major General, retired now, by the way, Al-Wali Kazir. He served under the military president of Ibrahim Babangida, right? And even Sani Abacha, he served under them. So the book is to be launched at least in the 26th of March, I think, 2026. And in Abuja right here, I think the luxury hotel, Nikon, I guess, after the Ramadan fasting period. And it is promising to show investors exactly where the gold and the fruits are hidden in Yobe State. Now, you should recall, in case you didn't know, that in August of 2024, the Yobe Investment Company Limited, the YICL that is, a state-owned development finance institution and member of the Nigerian Exchange Group, was set up to identify, to attract, to support investors in the state. In fact, they had one mandate, or several mandates. One of such included promoting agro-allied and solid mineral industries, creating jobs, increasing export earnings. If you also recall that sometime in September 2024, Governor Mai Malam Buni, APC Yobe, publicly stated that the states had become relatively peaceful and safe for business. He pointed out to the fact that there is improved infrastructure, such as functional airport, such as better roads, and these are evidence that Yobe is ready for investment. Now, also recall that in October 2024, the Yobe Agency for Public-Private Partnership and Investment Promotion, the YAPIP, that's what they called it, had announced several PPP projects, including a partnership with the Think Lab Agro Allied Limited, and they were to modernize farming with the Binaco sacks. They were to build a polythene sack manufacturing plant. Now, these projects were aimed to recruit at least 80% of their workforce from local communities. It was aimed at creating jobs, thousands of jobs actually. Recall again that in the same of 2024, November, the Yobe Mining Development Company Limited, YMDCL, was inaugurated. It was inaugurated as the sole state agency for exploration and mining, and it was acting as a one-stop shop for permits, for data, for community engagement. And still in 2024, December precisely, the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry, ACCI, urged private sector operators to partner with Yobe for mineral exploitation, agro-processing, for trade expansion. All of these developments from the backdrop for the upcoming Yobe State. Now, let me take you through some things. Historically, this particular state has been perceived as a conflict-prone zone. In fact, a conflict-prone, underdeveloped region, Yobe. There's a reason, just follow me now, there's a reason I'm talking Yobe now. Especially after the Boko Haram insurgency that peaked between 2013 and 2016. If you recall again that in 2015, the state's internally generated revenue, IGR, it was less than 2 billion. Its exports base was negligible. It's not even something you want to write home about. I mean, recall that in 2018, a small pilot project on sesame exports, supported by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, had shown that Yobe could earn up to 500 million naira annually from sesame alone. Yobe. If it is properly organized, if it is properly managed, Yobe. You should also be aware that in 2020, the federal government's Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, began funding road rehabilitation, began funding water projects, laying the groundwork for later private investment. So what exactly does Yobe State have? What is it about the state that maybe you don't even know about? You're not aware. Yobe State has in the ground, it has uranium. It has lithium. Yobe. In fact, it is because of resources like this, part of it, Russia and Ukraine are still fighting. Because Russia feels cheated out on, that Ukraine left us. And the parts that they took as Ukraine, it has some very rare resources in the ground. You think the wars and battles are not as a result of interests? All of these developments from the backdrop for a new Yobe. Now, Yobe's mineral deposits include diatomite, bentonite, gypsum, limestone, uranium, potash, silica sand, granite. The agricultural strength, sesame seeds, livestock, other cash crops, Yobe. So maybe there's an interest in the northern region precisely now. Maybe we are beginning to have an understanding as to why we are having terrorism here and there. Sacking communities, then they mine the ground. Selfish, disgruntled politicians who don't care about the land from which they come from or hail from. Some of them are not even from these states. They're from other states. They don't care regardless. As long as we're making our monies and sharing the national, well, this one is not a national cake now. Is a national treasure. We're all right. We're living fine. Our children are good. Family members. That's for those who even think about their family members. And that's it. The rest, do your worst. The truth is, whether you like it or not, this country, Nigeria, is blessed. All of its region is blessed. Northern Nigeria is endowed with abundant natural resources. So, if resources within the states of the north find optimal mining and usage, Nigeria could experience significant benefits in terms of GDP growth and revenue generation. For instance, I'll give you. There will be increased export earnings from solid minerals, and agricultural products could boost Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves. There will be optimal mining and usage of resources that will lead to job creation, reduction of unemployment, especially within the northern region, and contribute to the national economic growth. In fact, a study by the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NAITI, had shown that solid minerals could contribute up to 10% to Nigeria's GDP if properly harnessed. Solid minerals. And to those of you who are harboring this thought, oh, the North cannot stand on its own. The North can stand on its own. Oh. It's the northern elites and the different religious entities that are hiding it from you. They can, if they want to. The northern region is too blessed to stand on its own and care less about what's going on in any other region of this country. That's how blessed they are. So if you're only thinking about ground-up pyramid, no, please. It goes beyond ground-up pyramid in the north. I think the one question, the multi-million naira question would be, how can you and I support government efforts? How can we? Do you even know you can? Because the citizenry in these regions, they can support the government to ensure that resources are tapped well and utilized properly by participating in community development programs and skill training. All of these will help them prepare for job opportunities in mining and agro processing. You can help by engaging in transparent and accountable monitoring of resource extraction and utilization. We can help by supporting the policies and initiatives that promote sustainable and environmental friendly mining practices. Oh yes. You and I can help by holding the government and investors accountable for revenue collection and allocation. But then comes the question of, how do you do all of these things if you feel insecure, if you feel unsafe, if you feel unsafe? How do you do that? So I'm just going to ask, what role can we play? What role can the government play? What role can the private sector play in ensuring that the northern Nigeria's rich natural resources are optimally tapped utilized for the benefit of all Nigerians? And how can this contribute to national economic growth and development? So I will be taking a time out in a short bit. I'll come back with a time in and we can have that conversation. I just mentioned Yobe State as a point of contact to every other northern state within the region. So pause a while, take a step back for a bit, and think to yourself and say, if all of this is only in Yobe, so what is in Katsina? What is in Bauchi? What is in Zamfara? What is in Kwara? What is in Borno? It's coming to you now, right? You're getting the picture. If we're to put all of these together, only Yobe, and we are talking uranium. I mean, you could use it to prepare an atomic bomb. Uranium, only Yobe. Limestone region. I'll be right back.
Looking to reach customers beyond borders?
It's just that we want to see other audio.
Eagles 102.3.
Looking to reach customers beyond borders? And right here in Nigeria, a powerful connector and a global broadcast platform built for brands that want real results. Testrally, Eagles FM Abuja delivers strong, crystal clear single day. Eagles FM Abuja streams daily across the USA, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Austria via our website, mobile app, and online radio platforms. We bring you news that matters, political conversations that shape opinions, sports that excite, music that connects culture, and entertainment that keeps audiences hooked. Plus, we amplify your brand across YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, placing your message exactly where to deliver impact. With expert advertising advisory, strategic timing, and powerful storytelling, we help brands turn listeners into loyal customers. Whether you're launching, growing, or expanding globally, advertise smarter, reach globally, and grow faster with Eagles FM Abuja. One voice, many nations, endless possibilities.
Things they happen for our community, eh? That one my own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Media collation and awareness to hold trafficking, MICAs, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102. Denmark.
We are looking at matters that concern resource control, making sure that we're able to tap resources within the northern region right there. And if we were given the if we're able to tap into the resources, taking Yobe State as a point of contact or a point of case, or a case in point, if you like, what would it be for Nigerians and Nigeria? Will our lot be better? Or do you still believe that we are still on the pedestal of northern region is just about pyramid of groundnut pyramid, that's all they got? Well, if you were living in that thought line process, well, you were living in the past, or probably you are not well informed, because only Yobe State has got quite a lot Quite a lot. Quite a lot. We're talking uranium. Oh, yes, we are talking uranium. We are talking silica sand. We're talking limestone, gypsum. We're talking bentonite. We're talking diatomite. Only in Yobe. Then imagine what you can find in other states of the north, neighboring states to Yobe. Just imagine. And imagine that all of those were tapped by the Nigerian government and it was bringing revenue back to us as a country. Imagine that. Well, I'll just thank the school and let's get going with the discourse. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please. Good morning, Terkenby. Hundu.
The voice of the world crying in the wilderness.
Appreciate Terkenby.
Yes, this Hundu.
Yeah.
From Nasarawa State.
Awesome. Talk to me.
I want to quickly say that the discovery of crude oil has been more or less like a cost to us.
Right.
It is on that single reason that so many of these other resources cannot be harnessed. Because that fuel has made it very easy, especially for those in government. Every month, they share money.
Oh, we just lost that connection right there, Turkenby. Well, you also want to add your voice in it. Maybe you live within the region, the northern region. You've lived there. You have an uncle there. You've seen resources mined or tapped. Or you've been told stories that your grandfather, was a miner and they saw very rare resources or things, and you want to talk about it. You want to add your voice to it. The number is 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm Olatunji calling from Kubwa.
All right, Olatunji, talk to me. Olatunji, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I want to say, first of all, but how resourceful that we have. You understand that as one human being.
Olatunji, can you speak into your phone? Make your voice audible so we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, this is good.
Okay, I want to explain how resourceful that we are. As human beings continue to grow, I think it continue to have some importance on about to on web. So I want to say, for example, look at Yobe for example. In terms of agriculture, average of Yobe people are agricultural people. And I want to, they have funds, they have everything. If they have a way of protecting it to the final use, and they have a way that they can put it into sachet, and this maybe NAFDAC or Parastat can be able to check on them. Those people that are supposed to pick up feet, they now become kings that these people are now going to meet in the office. They can license them. You know how many people that will make money through that? And even though this, you understand, if government can be making use of mining it, and they make it as a percent is going into the average citizen's account of Yobe people. You understand that instead of putting it to privatization, those private people will only do roads in the environment where those companies or refineries are located, which they will neglect other citizens. So you understand, even in terms of oil, why can't they make it to the sense that a percentage is going into the account of individuals? So I want to say that that's just the issue.
Okay.
You understand? We are very thoughtful. You understand? Just how to manage. You can see those advantages, sir. So may God.
Yeah. All right. Ending with a prayer right there. Well, talk to me. Let me know what you think about all of these resources. I mean, I mentioned quite a lot about Yobe State alone. Just Yobe State, and I painted a picture for you, and I said, hey, if this is found only in Yobe State, now think about Borno State, think about Zamfara State, think about these other states. What could be found there? Now, we have heard countless times matters and concerns that butter around gold, diamond, silver, and some other very precious resources. And we have also seen instances, in fact, it's no longer news, It is no longer news, and I'm saying it on strong authority, with facts. It's no longer news that the shape of terrorism within the northern region is mostly because of the resources under the ground in those regions, where villages whose homes, whose lands are like ancestral lands to them, are being sacked, pursued, maimed. And then if you go back to that same spot and location where the so-called terrorists are, you see them mining. They are mining the ground. They are looting resources unabatedly. Hello? How can we make this stop? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my lord.
Good morning to you, Elder.
My regard to your family.
Appreciate
to your family.
Appreciate, Elder. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cuba.
Thank you. Elder, talk to us. Elder, talk to us.
My regard to everybody in the media.
Yeah.
There. You see, the northern is a special something. You know, gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best resources where they want it to, throughout the world.
Right.
And then they happen to discover it in Jamfara, Kevi, and then Kachina and the other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and hire China to come and take it. And then the federal government, they keep silence of it. And then to protect it, they go and bring all these terrorists to protect that side. You see, we hear say terrorists, they kidnap China before. You hear say they kidnap any permanent president in the north here. That's why there's an investigation in Niger, headed by General Bala, who go it and see. In Niger, a special investigation against some terrorists. And then they have investigated in Nigeria here. Most of the prominent people in the north here, they say include Emir, include a religious leader, include politicians, they are involved in this illegal mine. And then they are the people bringing these terrorists to terrorize people, to chase people out for them to get this gold. And then the way they are digging this gold and selling it to terrorists, all it is investigated in Nigeria. Go it and see. So in the north here, the gold, when they discover in the north, in those states, even in Kwara State now, goes out of Kwara State, that's why you see the terrorists have extended to Kwara State. So you see them, if you go there, you see them digging this gold. And then China are carrying it. And then China, they import arm ammunition to Nigeria here. If you carry gold, give them, they'll give this any type of arm where you need. To go and terrorize people, to go and rob, to go and kidnap people. So the federal government is serious. They should ban all the illegal mines in Nigeria here.
Right.
Ban it, even in Abuja here, Kuje, they are doing legal mines. That's what we are talking. They say illegal refinery in the south. They are demolishing it. But illegal mines in the north here, nobody is talking. Up to federal government land in Kuje here. Go to Kuje, you see illegal mines there. Digging gold in the north here. Nobody touch them, nobody this and this. That's why the terrorists and then the criminal in the north here can never finish, because the timber and caliber in the north here, they are the people doing all these things. And then if somebody went to encounter me, to tell me. And then if you are doubting it, go it. The investigation headed by General Bala from Niger. What's the report of that thing? You see it. I'm not talking out of authority. I always talk and court authority. Let somebody go it. General Bala headed a special investigation. What's the implication of the northerners, the timber and caliber in the northerners here?
Okay.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Right there, that's the Elder Naja right there, all the way from Cuba, and giving his thoughts. Right. I mean, it's going deeper and deeper, and the conversation, of course, is thriving. Right. We're still looking on matters that concern the untapped mineral resources, or the untapped resources within the northern region, taking Yobe as a point of discourse. Right. The number is 0907-353-0044. That is the number, right? The other number would be 0909-705-4450. The WhatsApp number, that is 0909 705 445 and 0. Right? Okay, so well, indeed, the federal government of Nigeria, if you also recall, had placed a ban on mining activities in Zamfara state in 2019, and that was due to security concerns, particularly the links between banditry and illegal mining. There's, if you like, terrorism and illegal mining. Now, the ban was lifted in December 2024 with the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, citing significant improvement in the security situation. However, illegal mining is remaining a significant issue in the northern region. An estimated 80% of mining activities carried out illegally. 80%. Oh, that is a lot. And it has led to violence, conflicts. It has led to displacement of communities, where we now have IDPs. It has led to environmental degradation. So, the sponsors of these illegal mining often fund banditry, terrorism, cattle rustling, and they go about exacerbating insecurity in the region. But is the northern region aware of this? Oh, yes. They will not tell me they are not. They are. But the fact that they kept mum is what really bothers family members, Nigerians alike. The fact that they kept mum. Well, I've got comrade right here. Let's see how we can. Okay, well, we should go take this call first, and then we will get back with a comrade in a short bit. All right. Let's get with a comrade. Hello, comrade. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold up.
Comrade Salihu Mahmood Dantata is a security expert, and of course, a strong authority, especially when it comes to these matters, especially talking into or looking into issues that concern Yobe State untapped treasure, how we can turn resources into real wealth for Nigerians. Comrade, because time has gone so far and all of that, I'd like for you to just give maybe a summary as well as what you might think could be the take-home for Nigerians.
Yes, you see, Yobe State for long has been undertapped in terms of the resources they have from agricultural, mineral, and others. And in view of that, that is why a bona fide son of Yobe State, who is an economic expert as well as export expert, Muhammad Al-Wali Kazir, authored a book which is going to be unveiled on the 26th of March at the Nikon Luxury Hotel, Abuja, to tell investors and people, business people, why they need to come to Yobe State. You can know even after the advent of Boko Haram, Yobe State has not, some parts of Yobe has not suffered that much. So the issues are, when investors come there, they will be able to invest their monies into agriculture, tap certain things they feel that can go a long way in terms of resources in Yobe State, because it's a northeastern state, and with the enabling environment there, it is an opportunity, because severally people think it is only in the southern part of the country that you can invest. There are a lot to be invested. All this soybean, all this cashew, what have you, they are export commodities now. Most of them are left without being tapped. So the book with the title and insight on export potentials and investment opportunity in Yobe State Vision 2030, all in all, the Maimala Buni administration has made all the security possible in the state, where the likes of Bua, Dangote, and also other industrialists, even Chinese investors, American investors, British can come, because when we talk about revenue, you see local government, state and federal, because there is no way the revenue that is gotten in Yobe cannot affect the federal, because federal also have the way they take it on, especially with this tax administration in the country. And in a way, even radio stations like yours, Eagle Radio, that are giving this humanitarian service of letting people know we should start focusing on non-oil revenue, because we've so far, just like Senate President Bukola said when he was Senate President, it is high to know, he was a senator before Senate President, that it is high time states start thinking non-oil revenue, because when we say allocation every time from federal government, that alone cannot be. So that is why this book will serve as a yellow page and guide for prosperous investors that would like to come to Yobe and know the kind of agricultural resources, the mineral resources, are other
commodity, including even animal skin. You know, Yobe also have Fulani. There are a part of areas there where the rear cattle, all this cattle skin is also something. Yobe has a lot of it that can be used for shoes and also, but even you as anchor person, you can come also. Your radio station can invest in all those things and other people. So in a whole, that is what the book holds for Nigerians, in order not to restrict investment to only Europeans, but entire Nigerians. And that is why an author, economic expert, sport expert like Mohammed Alwali Kazir, son to former Chief of Army Staff, Major General Alwali Kazir, who was also governor of Kwara during Babangida, authored that book, which the launch will further after being unveiled, showcase all these other issues, and other personalities are also going to grace there. So Yobe State has a lot of mineral resources. So the Yobe State Investment Company is doing a lot, yes.
Yeah, comrade. So we don't go about Yobe, because the conversation is not just about Yobe. We are saying that if Yobe State has, very, very prime mineral resources such as uranium, such as quite a number of diatomite, bentonite, quite a number. If Yobe State has that, what about Zamfara State with gold? What about Kebbi with gold? What about these other regions? It does mean that we do have surplus resources that, if when tapped and mined legally, we will be able to add, substantially to Nigeria's GDP. And maybe life will be good for us. But if I was an investor, if you were an investor, if Eagles was as an investor would have loved to join this investment process, what is the assurance that our monies will not be used for corruption based? What is the assurance that after we've invested, we will not have insecurity, where some persons will run a parallel government with the Nigerian government and collect taxes from the people, and our millions will go down drain? This is the real concern. This is the real concern.
You see, those resources in Zamfara,
yes,
and others that have not been tapped, and the illegal gold mine in Zamfara is part of what for the banditry is different from Yobe. That of Yobe, the governors they had from Gaidam up to this have been able to manage the security, and because without security you cannot invest.
Okay.
So if people come with the security Yobe enjoys, Yobe neighbors Jigawa, neighbors Borno, and what have you. So, but the governors have been able to, particularly this present one, Maimala Boni, has been able to take security paramount. So for any investors coming there, it's not going to waste any. So other governors too have not shown that side. I have not even seen an author from Zamfara who is saying these are the things they should come and author on. But this is an author, Mohammed Alwali Kazir from Yobe, who has done that. That's patriotism. So you lay on your bed the way you lie on it. So the issues are other states too should be a challenge like this Yobe challenge now. But for the security in Yobe will make people to have free mind to be free to come and invest because there is no insecurity there. So states like Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto and others, if there are other resources, maybe their literary icons too can do that. It could even extend to other parts of Nigeria. As we are talking about non-oil revenue, it will help a lot. It's not a matter of sentiment, it's a collective responsibility.
All right, appreciate that one from you. Time is not our friend, but we see this message is coming from Samuel, and he says, standing on existing protocols, it says, is watching live from Kuje now. Thank you, Samuel. And he says, Yudi, I tell you, that I am not, if I tell you I'm not tired with some of the leaders in this country and what they are doing, they are so ungodly and unguided utterances, especially from northern Nigeria. I'll be lying to myself and the people around me. When it comes to resources, some regions believe that they own whatever resources that is found in that region and is meant for them alone. They also believe the resources from other regions are meant for all, especially the northern region that believe that they are their own country. Well, with these kind of attributes, can someone tell me that we can make progress in this country, right? Sincere apologies. He says, if I cross the border with what I said, have a blissful and happy day. Thank you, Samuel. You're just expressing yourself and as a Nigerian, a concerned Nigerian. Thank you. But anyways, can't go any further. Thank you, far too kind, Comrade Saliu Dantata. And we hope that this initiative will indeed get to other states of the north. Now, if Yobe State is opening its eyes and saying that, look, we should be able to tap these resources and look into these matters inwardly and see how it can benefit our people firstly before we can even talk about a federal government. Well, can't Zamfara State do the same? Don't they have a governor? Isn't there also a governor in Yobe State? Don't we have a governor in Kebbi State? Don't we have a governor in Kwara State and Kaduna State, Katsina State? Don't we have a governor in all of these northern states now that should be able to think progressively about the people and see what they can do for the people? Well, it is Yobe State today. You never know. The next might just be Zamfara or Borno State, because we will indeed begin to call these governors out and get them to do the needful for the people of Nigeria, who are our brothers and our sisters. I wish I can go further, but I cannot go any further because time is not my friend. I mean, some reactions right here. Good Lord. Okay, I'll just run through them already as I've been given a go ahead. Well, I see this one is coming from Yusuf from Wuse 2 now. It says, good morning, UD. Good morning. On insecurity in the north, I agree that the underlying issues fueling insecurity in that area is resources. Kaduna State, for instance. Kaduna Mining Development Company in October 2025 announced the discovery of a vast multi-metallic deposit of gold, lithium, copper, nickel in Kajuru area. They also discovered gold and nickel ore in Gidangwaya, Jama'a area. Now, this is the area that bandits are very active. It said the same story is replicated in Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, and so on. I will not be surprised if the recent killings in Kwara State has close relationship with illegal mining and not the religious narrative they are pushing. It says we should therefore pay close attention to the relationship between illegal mining of solid minerals and insecurity in Nigeria. Have a nice day, it says. Yusuf right there, and we'll say too. Henry Olga from Suleja says, good morning, UD. Good morning to you too, Henry. The northern leaders are the problem of themselves. Are we not in this country when the current Minister of State for Defense gave the former President Buhari the staff of raw gold as gift? That is why terrorism cannot stop in the north, he says. I see. Well, Joseph from Jai says, good morning, UD, once again. Good morning. Our leaders are careless in some areas. Joseph from Jai is saying that. All right. Greta Bali, I see you, says, watching live in Nasarawa State University. Kefi, thank you. And also Francis and Amani Almaga, watching live in Amagunze in Enugu State. Appreciate that. Greetings from there. And we catch it on here. Thank you, far too kind. I mean, tomorrow we will look into yet another political conversation. But keep it in mind that, look, we are too blessed. Nigeria is too blessed, and forget whatever anybody's going to tell you. The truth is, we have the resources that will cater to our population. In fact, we should add more population to the population, and the resources will be able to cater for it. But the greedy ones just will not let that happen. But we're hopeful. We're hoping that things will change for the better. Messages from the website now. Can't take all of them. Good Lord, about 15 of them. It's a lot. But thank you still for